welcome back to the vwnut garage. You guys are looking into the engine compartment of a 1967 Volkswagen Bug 1500 single port HO block, all 50 horsepower. This is Ruby's engine compartment for the new people. The weather started to change, and it's going to be fall here before I know it. In the summertime, I was running with not so much choke at the cold start. So this morning, before I go to the grocery store, in my grocery getter Ruby, I'm going to adjust the carb or the choke while the car is cold. So right now the car is cold. Take off the air cleaner here. Daisy's still here. She's outside under a car cover. We'll get to her later today. So what I want to do is just check and see. I don't have, there's no spring tension right now at all. So we'll make some. Alright, so there's a triangle. I'll unplug it just because that's more convenient. There's a triangle with 3 flatheads, and we'll just take them loose. We don't need to take them all the way out. I don't think there's a problem with the spring. Now that I said that, there probably is. But for now, we'll just take them loose. Well, she's coming all the way off of there. I told you guys as soon as I said there was no problem with the spring, there'd be a problem with the spring. Inside there's the spring, and that catches this little arm right here, and we just need to put a little bit of tension on it, and as the car heats up, the spring heats up, and that relieves the tension, I believe. Could be wrong, but I think that's how it works. There we go. We're going to try right there. Oh, not too much. I'm going to try right there. now that I flooded it to death, I won't need the choke, but it should work anyway. Alright, let's see what happens. I think it's probably going to be okay, so now that I've said that, it won't be, but it's not like this is a difficult process. 67 is the only year with both sides coming off the heat risers or whatever into the air cleaner. Not sure why. I'm not smart enough to be an engineer, so, but I do know that that's 1 year only. I may give that a little bit more. I think I can probably get in there. It'd probably be easier at this point to take the air cleaner off, but I'm committed. Let's try that. Careful. Sorry, my fat head's probably in the way and bumping the camera. Remind me when this doesn't work to take the air cleaner off and adjust it again. Shot was a little bit shaky and that this is a little bit loud, but that seems to be about perfect. We'll see what happens when it warms up, but not difficult to adjust. So just take care of this and we'll move on to Miss Daisy today. Well, we made it back from the grocery store all right. Choke seemed setting on Ruby seemed to be just fine. So here, this is the passenger side fender, and the dirt is just extra sandpaper at this point. So of course the same thing, you guys know the drill. But I'm going to see how far I make it today, and I'll bring you guys back once I got this side done. And hoping to finish this in the next couple of days, this wet sanding and buffing, so I can then move on to heater channels and floors. And I'm gonna get to work. Alright, so just to update, it's all wet sanded to get some more cool stuff right in here. However it was they decided to fill that right there. But it should come out like the rest of the car, and I'll keep making progress. and I'll keep you guys updated. Alright, so that's how that came out. Oh, stupid camera. There we go. Well, that's it, the finished passenger side front fender. I'm still going to peel some trim off, and we'll continue moving that direction. Before we know it, we'll be down and into something else. Quick update, I took the trim off of this side. We're getting the door handle off, you know, the sanding and the buffing and the things. But this trim came off way easier than that trim over there. All I did was take like a plastic putty knife, and I'll show you. These clips right here, they sit in the car like this, so if you slide a putty knife or something flat and plastic that won't scratch the paint, which seems weird because I'm scratching the paint, but just slide it flat. I'll use this. Just slide it flat till it pushes on that clip, and that clip will release. That's how I did it. Well, we got a couple of parts wet sanded. This quarter right here is all wet sanded, still drying a little bit, and this driver's side door. Camera kind of has a mind of its own. But we're gonna buff it, and I'll bring you guys back. Now that's after just one round with the, oh come on camera, thank you. That's after just one round with the buffer, one compound. Here's some contrast. Pretty good. I want to making sure that I remind myself to take my time, even though I can see the finish line. A couple of things that I've learned or been reminded of is that a little bit of compound goes a long way, and that to make sure I do a good job on places with sharp edges like the doors and edges, I just put an old buffing pad in the door jamb so that the buffer doesn't get bound up on the rain gutter or anything when I'm doing it. So we'll get to smashing that into the paint. Just about done. We're going to move on to the rear quarter and fender here next, and that'll finish her up. But this came out. Oh, go ahead camera. Go ahead. There we go. However the camera decides to look at it, it came out as nice as everything else. Got the trim back on, the parts that are all done. Moving on to that rear quarter now. And then rear fender and the apron. And then on to bigger and better and different things. Here's a pretty good look at the progress so far. I just sanded and was washing that rear quarter and pulled it out and opened the door. And it was the first time I got to look at it in the daylight. And man, I really like that finish. Well, it started to rain a little bit, but that's alright. It isn't going to hurt the finish too much on this one. But it's coming out really nice. As nice as can be expected for what I'm doing to it. It's different. It's definitely a different look. So all that's left is that rear apron and that rear fender. We finished up that quarter today. Man, this side in the shade is awesome. You could tell on this car that the driver's side got used, probably like every car. way more than the passenger side. Don't let me forget, I need to put the trim back on the hood, on the bonnet. This one most definitely needs to come in out of the rain. This is how we keep track of patina at nighttime when we have to bring her out. It's just a regular headlamp like you'd put on your head when you were working on the car or whatever. We just put it around her neck like another collar. Well, it's just about time to move on to bigger and better things. We have made it to where we have just this area right here to wet sand and buff. So I'm going to get to doing that. And so for those of you guys who really have enjoyed the sanding series of Miss Ruby, I'm sorry to say that this will be coming to an end, the sanding portion. For those of you who are all set with the sanding portion, well, congratulations, we'll be moving on to something else. So without further ado, I was just getting ready to pull the bulb assembly out and thought, man, I better draw another picture, and then I went to grab the paper and I found the drawing from the other side. I wonder if it's the same. It absolutely is. Well, you guys should have it down by now. 1 round of compound. We'll go to another round of compound, a couple of different waxes, and then we'll be all done with the paint. Coming out pretty nice. Well, nobody is happier to say this than me, but that concludes the wet sanding and buffing of the body, and the end product I couldn't be happier with, and that's the way I'm going to leave it for now. Not to say one day that I won't paint the car, but I really like the look right now, and I think it's a look that you can't get without age and abuse. I think the age and abuse gives it a certain look of its own. So that's gonna do it for this one. We're on to bigger and better things now. Floors, heater channels, the engine's gonna come out and get resealed up. I gotta still have to do some stuff with the wheels. Big suspension things coming. Thank all of you for coming on this journey with me. I appreciate all the comments, all the thumbs up. It's very flattering. So thank all of you guys, and we'll see you on the next one.